Well, this isn't good. This could be going better. I guess we'll call it a bit early for that. I just looked over and I don't want to have to end the playthrough just because I get beaten to death by a bunch of gorilla armed prisoners. What do I have to deal with these guys right now? Katana, that'll inflict quite a bit of bleed damage. Yeah, I think we'll try that to get started. Okay, action right off the hop, which is pretty sweet. To everybody that's hanging out, thanks for hanging out. Oh no. So I took somebody's advice, and if you're looking for the mod list for this playthrough, for Sumo Khan's playthrough, I've added it to a Steam collection, and I'm gonna link to the Steam collection beneath each stream. I'm just waiting for it to get approved. I guess it has to go through a moderator. Once these guys are done healing each other and hopefully not looting me. Oh yeah, they looted me for sure. Who took my sword? I'm just gonna get up and... Oh, that guy took my sword. Okay, bye. So we're gonna go get that sword. There's absolutely no way I'm oh wait, I'm definitely not fighting these guys with martial arts. Probably gonna have to go get 2 swords. Ooh, so long as they don't hit my head again. Are they just gonna hang out? So, let's recap while I'm getting beaten up here. The last time we left off, we were somewhere... I want to say somewhere between the Manhunter base and Caton. I kind of set up just a random little camp. We lost my bedroll somewhere along the line. So we set up a tiny kind of fire pit and logged out as I came on with the kind of starting soon stream. He was sneaking northeast towards Caton. And here we are, getting the living daylights beaten out of Sumo Khan and having all of his weapons stolen by an army of guerrilla bandits. Two swords down, and we're not even 10 minutes into the playthrough. I can tell this is going to be a good one. This could be the one where Sumo Khan dies. Now the real question is this the guy that took my sword? No. Also no, I thought that was a katana, just his elbow horns. There's the saber. Now I could shoot him, but then they're gonna take my crossbow. I might just cut the losses. This is a cut your losses kind of look for Sumo Khan, I think. And despite the fact I'm an escaped slave, I'm going to try to sneak into Caton, which is a United Cities town. Hopefully they don't take me prisoner, because that can be aggravating. We need a new bedroll, and I don't think I can afford to wait to try and run all the way to Morn, or even survive that trip without some healing. So hopefully we can get into a town, get a bedroll, and not get eaten alive by a gigantic big thing that's being eaten by wolves. Okay. We need to stop and rethink this plan for a minute. That's a whole lot of wolves. So these are boneyard wolves. This is not great. See if I can skirt around the edges here. I'm pretty sure I have rations in here. And some crossbow bolts. I wonder if sneaking's a good idea. So I think the goal for this one, the title of this stream is The Khan's Gamble. Now I base that name on SUMO'S Gamble. So the goal here for the Khan is to first get healed up, and then we're going to try and make our way to Black Scratch, which has the Great Library and all the blueprints. In the event you can't find blueprints for a scrap tent at any of these starter towns, we'll call them starter towns, Black Scratch is your only option. And a scrap tent is one of those things that I would try and always have available to me on a solo Ironman. It allows you to set up camp in Venge and anywhere with acid rain, which can be beneficial for defense. That said, the enemies in those areas aren't generally susceptible to the weather. Murat and Shadow Seer, Odin Software Tools, Becca. Hello. This isn't good. Got a buddy hooked on this game. Hardly seen him play anything else the past few days. That is a side effect of Kenshi. So this isn't good. There's a... So that big guy right there. And I'll challenge anybody on this, but that is the most devastating creature in this game. And what are we going to do? We're just going to kind of sit and watch for a sec. See which direction that thing's headed. And go the opposite. It's huge. Okay, Caden is off in this direction anyways, which kind of works out in my favor. Oh! Run, Sumo! So we're done for. If that, if any of these big things see Sumo Khan, we're pretty well done for. I mean, it could be worse. Whatever owned this rib cage could be alive. Okay, so something's being eaten alive down here. I think this is where we run into the big things fighting everything. Right down here. Ooh, Gorilla Bandit. Okay, what are the odds that no way, that Gorilla Bandit's not going to beat the big thing. Keep him busy for a while, though. Their necks just looked like more rib bones. This is not great. Where's the door for this town? I don't know about this. Don't get eaten. Don't get eaten. Just don't hit his head. Or his stomach, for that matter. We might get lucky here. They keep on missing. Okay. This kind of worked out two ways. One, they're not going to care that I'm an escaped slave because they're busy fighting big things. And 2, the beak... Oh, no, there's another gate. Okay, just act casual. 10% look like a slave. I don't know that there's a way that I can shake that. With maybe if I put on a weapon. No. So hopefully nobody notices. Act natural. Okay. So far, so good. Didn't get eaten. Managed to get into a United Cities town. Let's see what they have for weapons. So this is the scrap house. Watch that heat, boy. Burn it and we start over. Are you getting yelled at by this lady all day? Another deadbeat with a rusty sword. Where'd you find that scrap of junk? Dead starver carcass? Junk heap? Swamp ruin? Well, yeah, actually a lot of my weapons came from swamp ruins. You might want to try a more budget-friendly shop, Drifter. The finest weapons need the fattest cat sacks. Things I never thought I would say. Flash him some cats. You guessed wrong. Well, a perfect walking example of deceiving appearances. So what are you looking to buy? Show me your gear. Okay, well, first 10 minutes of the stream, first 14 minutes of the stream, and we've already had 2 swords stolen from us and almost been eaten to death. So, it's shaping up. Did I just say eaten to death? I wonder if you can get just a little eaten. And so far, it's all terrible. Horse chopper. I think after this, I'm going to try and make my way to the skeleton scrap house. Let's double check Sumo Khan's skills here. We have 41 katanas, 34 heavy weapons, 22 sabers, 6 hackers. The skills I'd like to work up are hackers and sabers. What do they have for hackers? It doesn't look like they really... I don't think very many cultures in the game use hackers except the Holy Nation. I've just gotten my legs eaten off. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That does happen. So... Actually, our plank sucks. Get rid of that. Pick up a Caton 3 plank. And maybe for indoor fights, we'll grab a katana if they have one. Or longsword. Longsword wouldn't be a bad idea either. Regardless, katana, Caton. Oh, 14,000. How much was that? Oh. Alright, we'll do it. Just to have them stolen again in no time. I don't think I have anything to sell. At the moment. No. It may be prime time to go hunt some big things so Sumo Khan can get more of a nest egg. I think I was up to 60, 70,000 cats at one point. Ooh, running out of rations as well. This is where I need another lucky encounter with a pack beast. And, yep. That's how you're supposed to do it. Okay, map check. Let's see where we're headed. Somehow survived the southern edge of the high bone fields where I spotted at least one elder beak thing. I think our next stop, provided we get out of this city and past the guards, is going to be Morn and then Strange Town, which I believe... I really hope I'm in the right area here, but I'm pretty sure it's in Flats Lagoon. Yeah, it's gotta be. Gotta be. I'm not crazy. Okay. So there's a city in here on stilts. We're gonna head in here. And because I've got the population cranked up so high, odds are pretty good that there's gonna be a brawl going on between Hiver traders, or just any wandering trader and the town guards. If that's the case, it'll be an opportunity to pick up more rations and maybe a lot of gear that I can sell to get some more cats. So we have a bit better of a nest egg than 11,000. Okay. Off to Morn. Oh, that's actually sweet. You can buy that? Do these houses have levels? I can't... oh, yeah, it's just like the bar I was just in. So it has just a big ramp to it. Let's go take a look. I'm trying to figure out exactly which city I should base Sumo Khan out of, or... Oh, this is awesome, actually. Or if I should... No. Hydroponic vegetables? So I don't have the mod that actually lets you build hydroponic vegetable gardens. But there is a mod for it. That's awesome. Alright, hopefully we survive the trip to Morn. I'm really surprised that these guards don't care that Sumo Khan is an ex-slave. Especially because he was captured by the Manhunters. So... that was a complete one-off, and we got completely lucky. But if you're running a slave, any sort of percentage of looks like a slave, and were recently a slave, highly recommend you avoid United Cities, towns. So I'm just going to grab this just in case, the raw meat off of the beak thing. We only have 2 rations left, and especially if I get jumped by bandits that will steal my food. Or my swords! These guerrilla bandits are brutal. And anybody who's semi-competent in martial arts, like in the 30s, 40s, can generally one-on-one fairly early on in that sort of, in that skill tier. So 3 of them would kick the daylights out of sumo. Whoa! Does that look like it's fighting things? If that thing is fighting stuff, I should go get free loot. Or it's just munching on the mountain. Giant mountain potato. I don't want to go see. Sumo Khan is a friend to the Leviathans. So we're not using any cheese on this playthrough, but one of the fastest... Oh, nice. One of the fastest ways in the game to train your crossbows up to 100 is to use oh, that sucks, is to use a Leviathan because you can hook them on terrain very easily. So basically go out, buy a gazillion bolts, get the worst crossbow you can buy, and start attacking Leviathans. As they begin to chase you, you'll find that you can lead them into things like forests, edges of mountains, edges of cliffs, and you'll be able to kind of shoot them with impunity, and just your skill flies up. Just have to be careful. Sometimes they get unhooked and will murder you. All it takes for Leviathan is one hit. And if you're playing a solo Ironman, it's not really recommended. There's way better ways to train on a solo game than by fighting Leviathans. Because the problem is, a lot of the time, even with the heaviest armor, on your head or chest or stomach, they can hit you. So worst case scenario, even at 81 toughness, my health KO point's negative 70. Worst case scenario, they hit you once and bring you down to, say, 1 stomach or 0. And then they hit your stomach one more time, and it brings you down to something beneath negative 70. Even with heavy armor, while it's unlikely, it can happen. Especially with multiple attack slots on, if you have more than one of them attacking you at once, you can end up getting hit by 2 or 3 of them in the same body part at the same time. It's also a really quick way to lose limbs. That said, a lot of the time they won't hit you hard enough to kill you outright. And they do wander off most of the time when you're unconscious. Sometimes, though, they try and just hatch you like an egg, and every single time you try and get up, they hit you again, and inevitably you'll die. So that kind of sucks. Somebody commented on one of the previous videos and said they train against Leviathans almost exclusively. Maybe one of these days I'll have to actually try it meaningfully, but... Almost at morn. So far, so good. Not nearly as eventful as the first bit of the stream. And it kind of goes without saying, especially if you've been following the streams, when you're playing a solo, running away is always an option. Every experience I've had with bone dogs just ends horribly, so here we go. So far, so good. Yeah, Odin, that's another way to train crossbows as well. You don't actually have to be shooting your crossbow, you just have to be aiming it. If you were going to cheese. But, on this playthrough, we are abstaining from any and all cheese. Within reason. I mean, some is down, some is just unavoidable. So that looks like kind of a pack of bone dogs right up the hill, and I just beat up their friend. Morn is also kind of patrolled occasionally by an elder beak thing, so this could go pretty badly. Although it would be pretty cool if Sumo Khan lost an arm. Not too long from now, I'm going to be in a position to self-peel. That's another thing I hope to be able to demonstrate on this solo playthrough, is that even on an Ironman game and a solo game, you can toss yourself in the peeler and still manage to survive the whole experience. Although I'm not sure Sumo Khan will look nearly as cool with tiny mechanical arms attached to this gigantic bod. Oh boy. Should I fight these guys? I should definitely fight these guys. Who's up ahead? Stone rats? They'll help. Here's the thing. I don't want to lose the 15,000 cat sword that I just bought. So with 3 times attack slots, and martial arts fast dodger, because it's kind of an important combo. I found that if you just have 3 times attack slots, but you don't add martial arts fast dodger, you can end up with these guys in insane dodge loops that are endless. Mr. Lohana. Hey, I've watched you Sumo Khan play through twice as I played mine. First time solo mode. So far, 15 hours. That's what I like to hear. That is what I like to hear. How many times have you almost died? And 15 hours is insane. It's a lot of time. Are you king of Kenshi yet? Ooh, we can buy that small house. That's sweet. There's not a lot going on in Morn. I think there's maybe a couple special characters here that you can mess with. Oh, I can sell all this leather, actually. So we have a ton of leather here that we got from the beak things. Awesome. Back up to 20,000. Not so broke. It gets to a point in any kind of solo Ironman game where you end up having more money than you'll ever need. Rebuilding Morn actually may not be a terrible idea. It's semi-central. I'd almost rather have a solo house somewhere in the Deadlands, though. Maybe kind of post up beside some of these ruins at some point. Maybe we'll make an adjustment to our plans here. I do want to head up through SUMO'S Gamble to Black Scratch, but if I can get a start before the end of this stream, or I mean, this has been pretty breezy, these walks. That's a first. Usually getting from point A to point B is awful. Beaten Dora the Explorer, the Guerrillo Bandits, the Red Saber Nerds, and you're looking to destroy the Stone Rats. Awesome. It sounds like your solo Ironman is going remarkably better than mine. So we're going to make our way into Flats Lagoon. Like I said, because I've got population cranked up here, there should be a lot of fighting going on around this crazy little town. Oh, okay. Hold on. Not terrible just yet. Boneyard wolves. How many? 1, 2. Oh, okay. Okay. Don't panic. One big thing down. Oh, is that a big one? Oh, it is. That thing's, they're so tough. Wonder if I can help it. I gotta help it. This is a terrible idea. Terrible, 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 terrible idea. Nope. I'm dead. One down. Okay. Okay, don't panic. Sweeping attacks. Now we have to do something, though. How's this guy doing? Unconscious, 99. Dying. That's fine. Dying. Unconscious, a gazillion. Critical. Unconscious, 49. Dying. Unconscious, 80. So those boneyard wolves are going to give me a bit of trouble. I don't really think I had a choice but to take this fight. If I had tried to run past it, they would have caught up to me. I think I'll be okay. I say that. I say that now until moments from now I'm being eaten alive by 3 big things. So the big sweeps on the plank. It's why I like heavy weapons. Large, heavy weapons specifically. I'm not a huge fan of the falling sun. Mostly for look. I think it looks goofy. So while I did just say you get to a point in a solo Ironman where you have more money than you know what to do with, I am not at that point. So every penny counts right now. Especially with the rate that I lose weapons or have them stolen. So if you haven't checked out my guide, if you're playing a solo Ironman, you'll notice that I have 2 backpacks. One's stackable, and one is for carrying full-length items. Plank, fragment axe, so on and so forth. Ooh. Hello. Definitely didn't just skin your friend. Can I heal you and we can be friends? Nope. Oh, bone dogs. I really wish you could get... I know there is a mod where you can start with a boneyard wolf. They're just so badass. I have to hit its head. Otherwise it's gonna kill me and eat me. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, same thing. Head or chest. There's gotta be a way you can get... There has to be a vanilla way that you can get a boneyard wolf. Where are we headed right now? Flats Lagoon. Does anybody know if there's a slave shop in Flats Lagoon? Maybe let's go find out. Let's get a little crazy here. I think this thing might die, but better to keep it. I'm gonna try something crazy. If I can get a boneyard wolf, I still consider it a solo Ironman. But I'm wondering if I can put him in a slave cage and then buy him. Or can you carry him to a farm shop and sell him because he's on your shoulder? Things I've never tried. I'm just spitballing here. Just like there's a way to befriend the big things, right? There's a way to ally the big things. I was kind of really hoping that they were fighting big things near a big thing nest, and that we were about to get super rich off big thing eggs. That was the primary reason for that intervention. Still worked out. Okay, map check. See where we're at here. Almost at Strange Town. 2 times speed. I'm not exactly doing this for strength training necessarily. I really do want to see if we can find a way to make this our dog. I am near the bottom of the map. Fishman Island is kind of calling my name. Gurgler King has a huge bounty. I actually think his head is worth so much that you can't sell it to any one vendor. You need to buy a bunch of stuff from a vendor in order to sell it to him. Ooh, what do we have here? A dead Garu? What's beating up on the Garu? Oh no. Guerrilla bandits. If this dog wasn't in a coma, I could drop it like an atom bomb, just like I did with the Shinobi Assassin. There is Strange Town. And there's the Guerrilla Bandits. Caravan drone, Guerrilla Bandits. This guy is not gonna let me out of here, I don't think. $22 damage. The damage martial artists put out is insane. We should make Sumo Khan into a bit of a martial artist. A wandering karate master. I mean, I guess he'd be a wandering sumo wrestler, but... just getting obliterated. Like, this guy's got nothing left. We could get some consistency in hits here. And nothing. The martial arts bonus from the gi is pretty funny. Martial arts binding, martial art gi. Okay, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm gonna see if I can find gi pants, and we'll begin Sumo Khan's martial arts training in earnest, which will undoubtedly expedite the loss of limbs. If you're hanging out in the chat, I'd love to hear about some of your playthroughs. Lohana, Mr. Lohana, you've told me about yours. You've lost a Meitu Saber and a Kate Katana and a Hacker and another Katana, and your stats are insane. Especially if you're new to solo Ironman, I'd love to hear your approaches. And if you're catching this video later, same goes for if you're leaving a comment. Okay, Strange Town. The whole game plan here was that tech hunters would be fighting trader caravans, and we would get rich kind of on the sly. And I don't know if that's happening right now. Power sleep, sell the leather. That was actually a really great opportunity to get a bunch of leather from those big things. Super lucky that we came in and they were all mostly dead thanks to boneyard dogs. Speaking of boneyard dogs, I also left mine behind. I really, really, really like what this reshade does for the game. It makes scenes like this especially, like this town looks awesome right now. I don't know how that looks for you guys. I hope it's encoding really cleanly, but that's just too cool. This has always been one of the coolest parts in Kenshi for me, all these ships. You know, as the water level was way higher at one point, kind of in this basin. Vessels and structures half submerged or buried in the sand and mud. Very cool. This would actually also be a really great spot to build a player town, or even, you know what? I'm gonna let's test the waters a bit. And I should probably bandage myself. I can't believe I don't have first aid on a job. So I keep on losing first aid as an automatic job every time I get enslaved. Mr. Lohan, if anybody's following the chat right now, that's awesome. That's an awesome story start for a character. And I'm glad to hear that you are avoiding the... Why are there so many beak things? Okay, we're going to try and fight him. This will actually be really great training for his heavy weapons. I'm going to speed it up, and this could be the end of Sumo Khan. If I get eaten, I may have to run. Oh my gosh. Not good. Boneyard wolves to the rescue. Heal one boneyard wolf. Run away. They're not going to be my friends after they fight the big things either, though, right? So I also didn't sell my leather. So I'm going to run back up here, sell the leather, run back down there, get the leather. This could be amazing. Oh, they're eating a packet. Whoa. My time is now. Focus. Wheat straw? Lame. Okay, doesn't matter. There's a ton of boneyard wolves there, which means a ton of leather. Sumo Khan's plan is to end up in charge of the United Cities. Somehow. Now I don't think we have a mod installed for that. So I'm just gonna have to basically obliterate all of my opposition in the form of the nobles and Emperor Tengu and whoever sides with him. Whoa, 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 what do we have here? So I've got specialist and high grade armor. I did want to try out martial arts though. Karate pants would be amazing. Armored rag skirt's also pretty good for martial arts actually. Plated drifters, leather pants are awesome. Just look-wise, awesome. I'm really tempted to go with plated drifters leather pants. And I will move this over so everybody can see. So nothing too crazy here. If I could have found a higher grade unholy chest plate, I would definitely buy that. And before anybody jumps all over me, because unholy chest plate is not the best armor, I know, and I am super eager to get rid of the samurai leg plates. Always rule of cool leads the way on all these playthroughs, and I recommend that everybody try and do the same if you're playing a solo Ironman. It makes the game a lot more enjoyable when there's a lot more on the hook, just, you know, than just a character and his life or whatever, and you have to restart the game. In my mind, it's way cooler if, you know, you're kind of attached to the character because you've personalized it in a way. I watched this one guy years ago now, I guess, when Kenshi first came out, and he kind of modeled his character around a lumberjack, carried a fragment axe, wore a toque, and no shirt. And it was a really cool playthrough to watch. And I've kind of styled my playthroughs in that fashion ever since. Kind of choose a look that suits your character and run with it. So, the whole reason for coming out this way was to see if I could build a kind of a solo Ironman hut, a solo hut out here. And maybe we can get a little base going. I don't know who owns this part of the land, but it'd be interesting to see. Where are these guys? Black dogs and land bats. This little canyon. So sweet. Oh, don't even tell me. You gotta be able to get up through here. No. Okay. Because having a house near this boat would be sweet, but this canyon's kind of way cooler. Little pond. So if you can build a house here, that would be awesome. I bet you, though... Whoa, whoa, whoa. How far out do we have to go here? Oh my god. Oh, I thought that was my stats I was looking at. How can I not build this? No way. I wonder if all the ships count as buildings as well, and that's why it's giving me grief. Okay. Oh well. Moving on. We're going to stick with the original plan and try and make our way to Black Scratch. Now that Sumo Khan's rested up, we have a bit more loot, which is cool. Oh, wow. He's way heavy if I wear the Thieves' Backpack. Huge Leviathan. I wonder what he's destroyed lately. I like that Leviathans don't attack the player. Speaking of attacking the player and what was destroyed recently, I completely forgot, and I'm blaming everybody that's hanging out for not mentioning it, to buy a bedroll. Kind of week 1, day 1, rule 1, never leave town without a bedroll on a solo game. Something, something, don't fight a black gorilla near the Ashlands is Solo Ironman rule 139. They look so menacing. Now I might be dating myself here, but there was a movie, and I think it was called Congo, and it had giant black gorillas, genetically enhanced, and kind of the culminating, oh my god, culminating moment in the movie is when a research team combined with soldiers fights these giant genetically enhanced gorillas using laser beams. If you've never seen the movie, highly recommend it. Slay the fleshies. Now, I hope Southern Hive doesn't eat me, loot me, or carry me to a prison. I don't think they do. And I also hope that I am not subsequently found by something that does want to do any of those three things once these guys beat the daylights out of me. Yeah, there it is. Look how hungry he was. Sumo Khan does kind of a rolling, a rolling break fall and eats a ration on the way down. %90 sure the movie was called Congo. I gotta look it up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was. 1995 adventure action film. Just terrible. I grew up on all the original Godzilla movies, though, and they really shaped my... the type of movie that I enjoy. Okay, that could have been worse. I imagine that we're gonna get... Oh, who are they fighting, though? Land bats versus scavengers. Scavengers sometimes have insane weaponry. No idea why. Can't splint my injury, and Sumo Khan's big tum-tum has been beat up. Is Brink? What's Brink? I mean, obviously it's a city. I just don't know what's in it. Who are these guys? Goats versus Southern Hive. And the Southern Hive is winning. Avoid. Sanity, what's up? My man didn't get that big by fasting while unconscious. Are you talking about Sumo Klein? You know, Calvin Khan here? This guy is a magazine cover model. He's got those big boy abs. Okay, come on. But not that big boy sense of direction, apparently. Sumo's Gamble. Alright, see? Finally, we're done the prologue of the stream, and we're into the meat of things. Ashes falling from the sky. Sumo Khan beaten, bruised, bleeding inside his stomach. About to be beaten up even more. Oh, hey. See you guys. Take it easy. He went that way. This game never gets old. Somebody left their pipe laying around. Stobe. That's Stobe's pipe. Now, I kind of wish there was a little bit more interaction with volcanoes in this game. I always kind of wondered. You can get right up to them. You can crawl all over them. No ill effect. It's cool. It kind of looks like a diner sign or something. Like a, oh, secret drug farm. Sweet. I wonder if you can build under this thing. Absolutely. You could have a house in front of a road sign. That'd be pretty cool. So I've got Slopeless, which is a mod that allows you to build houses kind of inside mountains, which gives you some leeway to do some pretty cool stuff with your buildings. You could build this right into the side of a rock or a cliff, and you would still have access to the house. It kind of hollows out the mountain. It's very, very cool, and if you're into city building, I highly recommend the mod Slopeless. It can make for a very, very cool cityscape. Or very defensible base. Weak thralls, and here I am without a hacker. Okay, the water looks like acid. I'm not an acid expert, but the water is green. So a lot of people contest me in comments and in in stream sometimes when I say that hackers are the best end game weapon. Like, you should strive for your highest and most important skill for end game enemies to be hackers. And the reason I say that is because the end game truly takes place right here in the Ashlands. Between Sonorous Dark, Ashlands, Sniper Valley, this whole entire section, this is endgame Kenshi down here. There's a couple tougher opponents, and just by virtue of numbers and stuff, kind of scattered throughout Kenshi. Oh. What? Oh, I'm near Venge. That makes sense. This is gonna suck. So another thing, if you check out my guide, it says, under no uncertain circumstances should you leave home without a coat, dust coat, to protect yourself from burning damage, which you can incur from satellite beams. Now, if you were truly concerned about death by satellite beam, you might consider traveling through Venge or anywhere near Venge at night if you absolutely need to go through it. A lot of the times, though, you can get around it. Dark Zed, hello. Do we have music? Oh, there it is. There it is. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's this? Some ground etchings. Very cool. Fingers crossed we don't just get melted repeatedly by satellites, because that can happen. Stomach's only at 20. Don't have a bedroll. Don't have a scrap tent to hide from the satellite beams that will destroy me. And I also don't have any protective gear for this. 10 out of 10. Would not recommend traveling white eyebrow ninja? What? 10 out of 10 would not recommend traveling through the... Oh no, what have I done? You guys don't look like you enjoy... You're kidding. These guys look awesome. Do Scorchlanders have some natural immunity to lightning or laser beams from the sky? And who are you guys? Weak Thralls. Perfect. Perfect pairing. But they don't look like they're too fond of... Ooh, what is that? Spider. Destroy. But he has gi pants, and that's kind of what we're here for. Are they... Do they not... What's going on right now? These aren't bad guys? I mean, so I know he's not a bad guy, but I want his pants. Also, don't pick fights with groups of people when you're very hurt beside laser beams. E-pants. Success. Bandana? Can't not. I am ready to become a karate master. I'm going to take this to sell it. A sumo master. Durden, you have the best looking Kenshi on YouTube. You should be proud. I play on minimum everything and I still lag. I'm envious. I am sorry to hear that you still lag while you do that. I really appreciate you saying that it's the best looking Kenshi on YouTube. Yeah, you know, I've kind of struggled with various settings over the years. I don't know. I kind of landed on the most dialed in version of the settings for myself. But I know that this game has less to do with graphics capability versus, you know, for instance, your processor and stuff, because of the way that the Ogre engine works. Ooh, see, this is where I wish I had a hacker. And we're in dangerous, dangerous satellite territory. Are these guys headless? So in the future, I really hope that our robot overlords are this incompetent. You know what I mean? You can just smack them around. Less Terminator-y. More Kenshi Thrall-ish. So refitted blade. Is it hot? Is it hot in here? Oh, you're done. Oh, we're done. Okay. I'm not sure how that did not absolutely destroy Sumo Khan just now. These are just all the horseshoes that have fallen out of his ass. He's tripping over them on his way through the satellite death beam field. and a fat hero. Whoa, you guys don't want to go that way. Well, maybe you do want to go that way. So this is pretty cool. This almost, there's more than 5, but especially because they're coming out of Venge, this almost looks like an auto-generated NPC 5 nobodies start that all started in Venge, and they're just trying to run screaming out of the satellite death valley. Meanwhile, Sumo Khan runs in. Now, I don't know if I've checked, but I'm willing to bet you could hide under this thing and not get just absolutely decimated by thralls. And speaking of thralls, I just ran past a group of them. Oh, no, I take that back. The satellite beam went right through the building. Oh, that one hurt. Didn't even see that one. This is going to suck a little bit. War! If I get hit one more time, actually, we're done for. So the question here is, stop or sprint? Stop and heal or sprint? I say stop and heal. And hope. Stop and heal and hope. Splint injuries so we can run more quickly. And we're going to put this on so we can run more quickly as well. Cut right. Hard 90-degree turn. And see if we can get as far away from the laser beams as we can. Because if I take one more hit, we're going to be unconscious. And hopefully we don't get hit again and again and again by laser beams after that. This is awesome. I don't know that I've spent much time in this kind of field of stones. These guys don't seem to care that I'm here, which I'm fine with. Oh boy. So this is where a scrap tent would come in handy, and a bed, right? You could put up your scrap tent anywhere here, throw down your camp bed, and the laser beams from the satellites would not be able to damage you at all. This isn't great. Run it out. Thank goodness they're all slow for some reason. Oh, okay, we're not out of it yet. I really thought the worst of it was behind us. Satellite beams never strike twice in the same spot, right? So I can safely run along the path of that last one. Don't follow that advice, it's not true. They absolutely strike more than once in the same spot. The unwanted zone. This just sounds sad. 2 nests. I don't know what we're working with here. Big things. Ooh, there is lots of combat. And over there. Crabs. Crabs versus swamp raptors. No thank you to the crabs. Those things will absolutely destroy me. Although crab armor's pretty sweet. Ooh, speaking of. Come on, we're almost at Black Scratch. I'm actually kind of happy with how uneventful. I mean, at the very outset of this stream, it was pretty pretty nasty. But I'm kind of happy with how uneventful this trip has been. We're going to get to our destination, sell off this leather, sell a couple of the weapons. See if we can recoup some of those financial losses from having our weapons stolen. That kind of sucked. Once we get to Black Scratch, we're going to re-kit. Make sure that we have the proper gear. And that might mean heading out, fighting some reavers, fighting some scavengers. We're going to have to do some kind of looting and gearing up right around here, around Black Scratch. It's a good spot for it. And kind of worst case scenario with the reavers is that they kick the living daylights out of you and then enslave you, right? And kind of make you into some badass reaver warrior. It's an interesting way to play the game as well. If you enjoy, you know, like a rebirth start where you kind of play a prisoner and can work that angle. Another really fun start, if you can run there, or there might be a mod for it, I don't know. Or there's got to be a way you can just start a character in a certain spot on the Kenshi map. But if you can run to Black Scratch and get enslaved by the reavers, you can pretty well just watch that character do his thing as a reaver slave. They'll heal him. They make you fight. And you just watch your stats fly up. Or conversely, you watch your limbs fly off and then the reavers abandon you. So over here, it looks like we have a pack of reavers. You'll regret trying to escape. Reaver blooded, yeah. So these guys they mean business. They're serious. Serious stats, too. Up in the 30s and 40s. Some of their blooded reavers, and I think they might be called reaver heavies, even, are up in the 50s. They're fairly serious opponents. And now when you're thinking about a solo Ironman, you kind of have to approach opponents and fights a little differently. And you have to go in with a sense of whether or not they're going to kill you, eat you, or enslave you. The two things you should be most averse to in your solo Ironman is being captured or enslaved. Like being captured or captured/enslaved or eaten. I mean, I guess that goes for every playthrough, regardless of whether or not it's solo. But those are the two situations where you're going to end up most likely dead. Running away, coward? Yeah, let's get him. The Sumo Khan pretending to be a reaver. Hey guys, don't mind me. Please don't attack me. I'm so close to the town. Almost there. Oh, okay, perfect. Grass pirates. So this is what I'm talking about. We need to get our hands on one of these. Even if it's a sleeveless dust coat, we need to get our hands on something that's going to protect us from the acid rain because, I mean, well within time here. I think we can get from Black Scratch, get healed up, get kitted up, and make our way to the Deadlands. Right now, Sumo Khan is trying to make a name for himself, so trying to do some bounties, trying to gain some combat experience. Kit up, find everything he needs to kit up properly. Get some weapons and training experience along the way. All in kind of preparation to take on the United Cities. I need to find a home for this thing. There we go. 60 acid, 60 burning. So ideally we find one that is long sleeved. I need to sell the leather we have. I need a bedroll. I need to get a scrap tent blueprint. There's a lot that needs to happen here. The mod tool is helpful. I made my own start. You can pick your clothes, money, equipment, and location. Okay, that's actually really cool. Reality Rift. Are we pro-Holy Nation? Sumo Khan's not necessarily pro-Holy Nation. He hangs on to this bad boy over here in case he has to pass through Holy Nation lands because he is a Greenlander and largely gets left alone. But having the Holy Flame on him makes life a lot easier. He hasn't necessarily made any major cultural enemies yet, not of any cities or any races. And I'm trying to play it, for lack of a better term here, pretty organically. And by that I mean he's not going to hate the Holy Nation unless the Holy Nation suddenly attacks him. He's not averse to slavery because he's trying to take over the United Cities. Things like that. Big ego, big belly, Sumo Khan. Let's grab some maps here. Tech Hunter Library map. Tech Hunter's map. Engineer's map. Old Treasure map. Map of the Ashlands. Was that 10,000 cats? Map of the Swamps. Map to Mongrel. Awesome. And now we are looking for, and it should be... I don't know what color the blueprint's going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a blue blueprint. But we're looking for... scrap tent. No. Mask type 3? Does anybody know what that is? So some of this stuff might have been added with some of the mods. I don't think I've ever heard of mask type 3. Legend of the Forsaken Howler. If I could find that thing, it'd be awesome. I don't think you can, though. Are we pro beep? I mean, no. We're not pro beep. Unfortunately, we're not pro teammates, right? I'm going to read all these maps and see what that does to our world map. Again, there are mods out there that kind of reveal all the cities and all the maps for you. For myself, as I go through my various solo campaigns, I really like to fill out the map for the character. So we have a ruin in the crater. We have a ruin in the Royal Valley. Or is it a ruin or is it a city? Oh, it's the hive. Okay, that's the Southern Hive. Ooh, another ruin up here. This is good. So our next stop is going to be the Black Desert. Sumo Khan is coming here and we're going to do something crazy. We're going to try and rob the scrap house. Now, I've done this in a couple different streams. But something you should know about my solo playthroughs, I steal actively, so I don't pause the game and just drag things over again and again and again until I get them. The game is on normal speed the whole time. He's picking locks the whole time he's looting. So, again, we're always trying to limit the amount of cheese in these solo playthroughs. If you just want to play a solo playthrough and win in every instance, get your assassination up to 100, get your stealth up to 100, and go to town. Kill everybody in the game without taking a single shot. Or wear full samurai armor or crab armor, get yourself a heavy weapon, and go nuts, right? That's why I kind of always stress rule of cool when it comes to armor, even stat choices, weapon choices. For my solo games, I think it's an absolute necessity to go with every single weapon class. Try and become proficient in as many weapons as you can. At the same time, though, I have just as much fun in kind of like mono skill solo playthroughs. You know, try just a pure martial artist. Try a quarterstaff user. All you're going to use is the polearm skill and quarterstaffs and be a wandering quarterstaff wielding monk kind of thing. I think those kind of playthroughs can be extremely fun. Adding just kind of another layer of difficulty and depth to your solo playthrough. This structure is awesome. I've always wondered kind of what it is. I'll stop flinging this camera around in a sec once I get a good angle. Black scratch. It almost looks like, I don't know, kind of looks like an oil, like a drilling device maybe, or a crashed ship even. I don't. Maybe a satellite dish. Maybe a control center for one of the laser beams in the sky even. And this is cool here. This maybe bridge, or I think this was an extension bridge. Kind of shoots out like this, or maybe a lifting platform where they would load supplies. Supplies! That's what I'd like to see on the wiki. A lot more conjecture about what all these structures were. Now, I know people have gone into the game files and checked out the actual names of the items. And that's pretty cool, too, because some of them have really cool names. Pretty sure one near Stobe that people are saying is Stobe's ship. There's a ruin kind of jammed, a structure jammed halfway into the earth. Dark Zed, isn't it easier to just level your range in one type of weapon? Yeah, it's way easier. But it can add different layers of difficulty in that you're limiting your character's capability. You know, when you have multiple weapons and multiple proficiencies, you know, every time you come up against an army of robots, you pull out your Paladin's Cross. And there you've got, you know, 100% more damage to robots. Or 50%, whatever it is, skeletons. So we're just waiting for daytime here. I need to get a bedroll and some rations before we head out. And I was hopeful that I could find a scrap tent, so maybe he'll have the blueprints in his shop. Tech Hunter Bar. Cool. Who lives here, I wonder? Is this where Ark lives? No, it can't be. Ryoko, Mercenary Captain. Click. Jaglonger, Mercenary Heavy. Umo. And Barksy. It'd be really cool. Look at this guy. Quarterstaff. Ball cap. Robotic arm. That is a cool character concept. Even something like that to kind of build your solo Ironman around. Super cool. But what I was kind of saying is having multiple weapon proficiencies, you come up against a group of humans inside a building, pull out your, your Meitu katana because you've got high katana skill, and then you're dealing extra damage to unarmored opponents, extra bleed damage. You're swinging extremely quickly. You're not getting an indoors negative modifier. Come up against robots, pull out your Paladin's Cross. Come up against animals, pull out your polearm. You come up against... You want to kind of 1v1 a character with heavy armor, swap to martial arts and rip them to shreds. Or use a hacker, because they also have insane armor penetration. Whereas if you only have one weapon skill, you're limited to... I mean, you suffer the limitations of that weapon. For instance, a katana playthrough is not extremely viable late game because it does terrible damage to heavily armored opponents. Although a katana only playthrough can be kind of rewarding, very fun. If you've ever tried the sword start, the holy sword start. Okay, come on. When do these stores open? It is 6 a.m. And again, there's different types of the same weapon type, right? There's different weapons for the same weapon type. Awesome. So this is exactly what I was looking for. A dust coat that's high grade, 80% acid, 80% burning. And this is kind of going to fit with our martial arts switch here, which works out even better. So we can ditch the gi, go for the dust coat. This is going to be crazy. Scrap tent! Now we're going to need a research bench to build this, which I'm fine with. We will find one. What have I done? This. This is going to be crazy. So Sumo Khan's going to try and swap to martial arts. Now the question is, do we get a little crazy? I think we keep the fog mask. I wanted to put on an Ashlands hat just for absolute cool factor. But I think we'll stick with the fog mask. We need the dust storm and gas at 100. And we will have acid and burning at 80. Pretty well covered across the board for environmental effects. I can even get rid of my straw hat. But let's ditch the heavy armor and just add this to the list of bad decisions I've made with Sumo Khan. Let's get rid of the samurai leg plates. Get rid of the dark leather shirt. We can ditch the headband. Look at this guy. Majestic. A jacket. It's like a 3-button claymore. One wrong move, and it's front towards enemy. Okay. Flank. Katana. Spare armor. Martial arts master. What's his martial arts at right now? 0. Perfect. 10 with all this gear. This is the new and improved Sumo Khan. Got ourselves a bedroll. I did learn scrap tent. Now, the only issue is that I don't have a house to build a research bench yet. Is there a house for sale here? Hello. Excuse me. I hope you didn't need that. That's hilarious. So I think, like I said, I'm going to be putting up the mod list. It's a link to my, I made it a Steam collection. Somebody suggested it in the comments. Droob, I think his name was Droobles. Droob suggested it in the comments on one of my last videos. And he said that you can create a mod collection and link to it. So what I'm going to do is add a link in the description of the video after it gets posted after the stream to the mod list that I'm using for the Sumo Khan playthrough. And if you've been following along, you also know that I have global population at 3.25 and squad size at 1.5. This is all in an effort to kind of replicate the population levels of what I think Kenshi 2 is going to be like. Because Kenshi 2 is going to be coming out hopefully sometime before I'm a grandfather. And when it does, the only way I'm going to play that game is solo. And I'm very excited to try it out. But because it takes place 1,000 years before Kenshi does, or something like that, I believe that there's going to be a lot more people. and along with the other mods as well. So I've got one called Racial Diversity, and that's what's adding those robotic limbs to some characters that may not have them normally. And it adds quite a bit of diversity in terms of weaponry as well. Sheedan's Tweaks and Fixes, I think, might do that. It adds different types of weapons to groups of enemies. So, you know, you're not just going to get an army of guys with hackers attacking you. You'll have a mix of hackers, sabers, katanas, things like that. So this guy right here, Reaver Blooded, he's just hurt enough that I want to try and beat him up with my 0 martial arts. And he's got a crossbow. Of course he's got a crossbow. Oh, there's 3 of them. Oh, okay, let's try. Okay, yeah, not working out. Come on, Sumo. You got this, big boy. Oh, that's a kick. I think we go to the guy who's 23. Now we're cooking with gas. I think we go try and fight the guy who's got the sword, right? Ooh, is this guy helping me? He's not really helping me, but he's kind of helping me. Kick him. This isn't great. We may have to run back to town to heal up this. Kenshi to release date predictions. Ooh, that's a tough one. Honestly, if I had to say, I think we're going to go back to attack all. Taking a lot more tum-tum damage than I hoped. I don't know. I'd have to say we see maybe a closed beta or an early access. Like early access on Steam seems to be the way things are going, right? With a lot of games, it's a great way for developers to generate income for their teams and for the game itself. So I think we'll probably see it in early access on Steam. I don't know. Maybe I'm being optimistic here, but I'd like to say within 2 years. I'd say mid 2024. That's my prediction. So we're gonna run away from these. I think I can take one of these guys at a time, maybe, even with my limited martial arts here. What I can't do is afford to get captured because the Reavers have a tendency to take everything. Backpacks, gear, absolutely everything. And just leave you hanging out to dry. They enslave you and drag you along. They don't care if you're limping or crawling. And force you to fight. We'll get Sumo Khan healed up and execute our plan of stealing weapons from the scrap house in Black Desert City. And we're not going to leave the city without a sleeping bag again. Which way are we headed? Oh, there's a line of them? I didn't even realize there was a whole line of these towers. Whoa. These things I feel like I should know. I don't know. It almost looks like they have legs. Is this a leg? Do we think this is a leg? Some kind of pipe? Definitely. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We kind of see underground there. Let's get crazy. Let's try this again. Show me your secrets. It's not working. It's almost working. Wow, that goes down really far. There's got to be a way to do this. We had it there. There it is. Can't stay down there, though. It bounces me out. We're healing right now, anyways. Maybe I'll pause the stream later and see what that looked like. Kind of looks like a prong down into the earth, down into the crust. Okay, Black Desert City, incoming. It's the biggest jacket. He's so big. Oh, I can definitely fight a Reaver that's limping. And unarmed. Perfect. So martial arts is going to be a brutal skill to raise. Oh, I think they might have good bows. What's this one? This is a specialist ranger. Oh no, terrible, terrible bow. Okay, current goal. Rob the scrap house. And what we're looking for is edge type weaponry. Hacker, katana, saber. Basically, you know, kind of one of everything. If I can get myself a masterwork crossbow, even better. If Sumo Khan can finish with kind of round out, he's already round enough. Round out his character as a martial artist crossbowman with the option to kind of switch to hackers at will, that would be ideal. That's best case scenario. I don't know if anybody hanging out streams or films themselves often, but if you ever freeze frame on a sneeze face, it's the most terrible, terrible face a human can make. Storm Gap Coast. What town is... Ooh, Brink. I don't know if it's worth it to stop in Brink. I don't think that it is. We're kind of a good place right now in the playthrough. I can move generally with impunity between locations. I can pick and choose my fights. We've run into a couple instances, though, where, you know, you can get outrun by several creatures in the game. Beak Thing's kind of chief amongst them. Ooh, acid rain. See, so not a problem. We have 80% acid protection and 81 toughness. Kind of the main, I guess the main consideration for any acidic location, especially the Black Desert. Right over here. Deadlands, Black Desert, Iron Valley. Your big consideration there is footwear. If you don't wear shoes, your feet will melt right off your body. It's a great way to lose your legs if you've got robotic limbs ready to go. You can kind of just swap them out on the spot, right? That's also how you self-peel. You hop into a peeler, you have to have very high toughness, and you have to make sure you've cleared out most of the enemies in the area. I don't believe you can hop into your own peeler that you craft, even if you've got the blueprints for it. Somebody still has to put you in, which is kind of weird. You can voluntarily crawl into somebody else's, though. Or leave one enemy alive and... Ooh. I kind of want to get involved with this. This is good. This is good. This is going to be good. Tummy kick. Sumo chop. Ugh. He's too limber. Not great. How badly do we think these guys loot you? Back to Black Desert. So I think that's the eye. Maybe the eye? No, it's not the eye, is it? Anyways, one of those giant satellites fell out of the sky, and it's one of the coolest places on the map in Kenshi. Well, what is going on? Samurai, beak things, grass pirates. Did that grass pirate? That's a robot grass pirate. And a 2,000 cap bounty. Ooh, I am an ex-slave. If the United Cities notices that, they may just kind of take me prisoner. Or try to. Maybe I'll ignore the bounty. I can't really turn him in anywhere. I can take him to the slave shop. That'd be hilarious. I've also mentioned it before, but if you didn't know, you can use the mini-map, kind of just like in any RTS, Warcraft 3, StarCraft. You can use the mini-map to click where you're walking. Super useful, just don't rely on it too much because pathing in this game can be rough, and it's happened more times than I can count, where I've come back to a character doing front crawl through an acid lake. So there's that. At some point, I think it's going to make sense for Sumo Khan to pick up an animal or two. Maybe a pack animal. Maybe a dog. I don't necessarily want to go down the path of ending up with an army of dogs because it's a slippery slope. But a pack animal, something like that, that's not too bad. Slavers, we're also going to want to avoid them due to this kind of ex-slave status. What is Sumo's favorite land area? Ooh. Tough to say. The eye is the coolest looking. Maybe next to the grid. The grid is awesome visually. And if you play a little zoomed in on the grid, so if you take your camera angle, game on normal speed, you're playing your camera angle like this with the game. In my opinion, this is the best way to play the grid. It's filled with beak things, and they come flying around corners at you. It makes it a whole entire different experience if you're close to your character while you're fighting, while you're running through certain areas. That's so cool. Outlaw, swordsman, captain, and he's got a robotic left leg. Discovered scrap house. That is our destination. Now, as mentioned, Acid River between Sumo Khan and Scrap House. Click Scrap House. Watch Sumo Khan attempt to swan dive into Acid Lake. If you have a settlement, actually this might be a really good place for Sumo Khan to kind of set up. Very close to the United Cities. Maybe somewhere like near the Acid Lake as well. Make a little base. That way if enemies do decide to raid it while he's, I don't know, researching, maybe building something, making his own gear, they're going to end up having to swim through some acid to get there. And in the spirit of those future intrepid adventurers, because I'm impatient Sumo Khan is also going to swim through the acid. Absolutely do not do this in your solo game. No matter how tough you are, acid lakes will melt you. Also a great way to get rid of characters, NPCs in the game you don't like. You can walk right up to the edge of an acid lake and just toss them in. 2 iron spiders. Okay, now there's 2 ways to get weapons out of this place. 1, obviously you buy them, but they are very expensive. Edge 2, Edge 3. Cost you an arm and a leg. The other way is to steal them, like I'm about to try. Also can cost you an arm and a leg. I totally forgot I was mostly loaded up with stuff. That should be enough. I don't really hope to get more than 1 or 2 items usually. Before they start chasing you and trying to murder you. So as mentioned, all stealing is done actively. So we're not going to pause the game and try and cheese the theft. He's going to pick the locks and drag the gear over with everything in motion. So stealth is only 59 right now. Now these guys don't actually care that you're here until you start stealing something. Those kind of roving guards there, you can squeak yourself. I don't know if Sumo's gonna fit. Kind of squeak yourself right in here. Nobody can see Sumo Khan, and he's not very lit up. He's half in the light here. If you try and pick this ancient safe from the corner, you can reach it through all these barrels and boxes. This took a ton of trial and error to figure this out. So if you're going to attempt this, expect to get chased out of the store several times. So, the question from Deadmask is, what do I mean by preparing for Kenshi 2? We just covered it, but I'll go over it one more time. What I mean by preparing for Kenshi 2 is I've got some mods that I've attached to this playthrough, ×3 attack slots, a few other quality of life mods, a few other racial tweaks, which I'm going to be linking to, as I mentioned. And we've increased global population up to 3.5%, or like 3.50, so 350% greater population. Larger squad size, which encourages a lot of those huge battles like at Bast, to appear a lot larger. And the reason for that is we're trying to mimic as closely as possible what I believe Kenshi 2 will play like. And no, there is no release date. I wish. So here we are, actively trying to steal from the scrap house. We have a couple masterwork bows. Nothing really in the way of good melee weapons just yet. A couple Mark IIIs. I'm not sure if I can reach the other safe. And I cannot. So we got the one safe, because we can just get to the corner. I'm wondering if I can... Oh, okay. I'm wondering if I can come around here and maybe try and reach this safe here. You'd be surprised what you can reach. And it's all about where you target it as well. So if I had been here, again, and tried to target this safe in this corner, he would have tried to run around and unlock the safe from that corner. Sounds like fun. Dead Mask, thanks a lot. It's all solo Ironman play, because that's how I intend to play Kenshi too. One character, one life, no reloads. Ooh, so close. Paladin's Cross Mark 1. Was really hoping for an edge weapon. Falling Sun. A lot of people like the Falling Sun. The only time I used the Falling Sun was to fight the huge gorilla, which can be found in Morn. So you can reach this safe from here as well. There's a lot more in here. Each one of these white boxes you can loot. You don't have to pick. Okay. So this is another great spot to steal skeleton repair kits, ancient science books for research. This Masterwork Eagle's Cross is calling my name. And if you hit Alt, you can click on these store shelves and just open them right up to attempt to steal from them as well. I cannot believe the lack of edge weapons. I haven't found a single edge weapon. So these are other containers. We'll be able to pick the locks. Now, so see this guy staring right at me. You'll still be able to pick this lock. And he shouldn't do anything. Now, there's no crime in picking locks, right? So if you just want to take a look at all the gear that you're thinking about stealing, this is a good way to do it. So there's an Edge 3. There's an Edge 2 Paladin's Cross. Now that's a weapon I want. Edge Type 2 Guardless Katana. Another weapon we want. And an Edge Type 3 Plank. This is insane. Edge 1. Okay, so this is the box that we wanted all along. Now the trick is gonna be getting the contents of this box with that robot staring right at me. Oh, not great. So we have to go try and just get right out, just outside of his view. Now there's an army of them staring at me. I think we've got to be right on the line here. So I don't know what the answer is here. Maybe we can move around, get him to turn around and look the other way for a minute. There we go. Is he just gonna keep following me with his eyes? Okay, no, we seem to have shaken him. So I don't know if that will help at all. We're going for it either way. If he sees us, I'm going to try and grab the sword and run. That's the plan. It's not a great plan. Okay. Got caught stealing. Everybody's still in motion. We don't know who caught us stealing. I got it. So we got it says discovered, but we got I'll show you in the backpack here. We got the Paladin's Cross. What else did we want from this box? Oh boy. Crook. Running. So this isn't, uh-oh. This isn't good. That said, we do have the anti-robot weapon. Faster than me. Not great. If I do this, nope, also not great. Okay, so bad news. We might die. depending on how much damage they do to me. If I can get down here... maybe I can do some damage with this Paladin's Cross. So this is why Paladin's Cross, arguably the best endgame weapon. Armor pen 30, damage versus robots plus 50%. I think they may, even if I do well fighting them here, they might just drop me out in the acid rain, which is not ideal. Oh no, and they're gonna take out my stomach too. What's the play here? More armor, for sure, more armor. Okay, that's everything. The only difference here is no unholy chestplate. This could be it. $80? Their stats are in the 80s? Madness. So this is what I was hoping would not happen, but I am awake. So awake is okay. But if he puts me down in the acid, my stomach might not heal. Not great. I think I'm going to be unconscious when he sets me down. This could be it, actually. Oh, I healed myself. Amazing. Okay, so even after all that, they didn't bother trying to take back the Edge Type 2 Paladin's Cross we just picked up. So that is where we're going to call it. Unfortunately, it's a school night, so we're going to have to cut the stream there. But I appreciate everybody hanging out. A couple close calls with Sumo Khan. And if you weren't aware of how to rob the scrap house in Black Desert City, now you know. You can take a couple different angles and access quite a few of those safes and shop counters. And just because I robbed from them doesn't mean that I can't go back, right? You can still go back at any time. Give them a bit of a cooldown. I don't know, an in-game day or two. And what you're going to find is that they don't really care. They don't care about any of it. You'll even be able to just walk up to DAC and purchase weaponry if you have the cats. And there's a huge bounty right there, sitting at the table. United Cities, Razor. So this is going to be one of the ways I think that Sumo Khan is going to ingratiate himself with the United Cities. We're going to start by turning in a few bounties that they're looking for, and this hiver named Razor seems ripe for the picking. Completely unassuming. Sumo just sitting here staring menacingly at the 10,000 cat bounty sitting across from him as he enjoys his meat wrap. Thanks again for hanging out. Take a look right now at the map of what we're going to be doing next time with Sumo Khan. But I think the plan, now that he's kind of equipped, we're set up. We've even got martial arts gear ready to go. I think we're going to come full circle, take out this bounty, make our way into the United Cities. Hopefully we survive the skim sands, the Black Desert, and the Eye. Drop off the bounty at Hang or perhaps one of the slave farms, and then start working on Sumo Khan's martial arts and his hackers by chasing down various bounties that we can find in the United Cities. I think a good one to start with is going to be a bounty down here in Gut. If we can take down Razor, make our way to the United Cities, then head into Gut, there's another huge bounty down here, and it'll be a good starting point as we get ready to go take on some of the bigger guys. Like the Bugmaster, Sumo Khan has to make a comeback and head all the way back down to the Red Sabers. It's coming along. Toughness 81. His combat stats and his attributes are coming along nicely. We gained 1 whole point of martial arts. Again, we're not actively training, right? The idea behind this playthrough is that Sumo Khan is going to set objectives, move between his objectives, and training is going to happen along the way. It worked out a few times fighting the Red Sabers, fighting the Exiles, that we got in some pretty kind of pointed training, but it's been a while. It's definitely been a while for Sumo. We've got the Edge type Paladin's Cross that's going to make our lives a lot easier dealing with some of the thralls if we have to cross back through Venge. But yeah, that's the plan. I mean, they're not all super exciting. We had some moments in this one. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. If you're catching this later, thanks for watching the stream. And as usual, if you're hanging out, I'd love to see it in the chat. Tell me about your streams or your playthroughs. And if you're commenting afterwards, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about Sumo Khan. Let me know what your predictions are. And let me know about your solo Ironman. And if any of the bad decisions Sumo Khan has made has inspired any of your bad decisions in your own Sumo Ironman, in your own Sumo Ironman games. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. Have a good night. I'll put up a coming soon video for when the next sumo stream is going to be. I'll try to get one in this week.